Hello again, everyone. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Alan, and I'm making a game as part of a team with two other guys in a master's in DIT. So we're doing it in Corona, and I just want to talk you through another one of the little things we've added into the game. Um, so it's a ground functionality. Now you might think, okay, it's a ground. What's so special about it? Well, normally in games, ground is made with you've got a platform, and it might be, so say you have a box, and the character would run along the box and then they jump onto the next one. And that box has a limit. It has a outer bounds, and that's the physics object around it. And you have to define that shape all around, and it can be kind of tough. But what if you have just one long ground and you couldn't really be bothered doing the whole shape thing? Or what if you want to have multiple levels of ground? I decided to implement a ground basically. So in the JSON, you simply set the length of the ground as a line. So this is it, ground, line. You say where it starts and where it ends, and then if you want to have it a different shape, all you have to do is add in a new one like this. So new points, and it'll automatically add those points to this already existing line, so it'll continue on. So for this one we just say x. So this x ends at 15,000. Let's make it end at 18,000. And y, that's 660. So that's pretty low. So let's have it coming up. Let's make it 400. So that's automatically going to append these points onto the end of this line. So then if we go back in here to low level, so this is the nested loop here that takes in the line. So it's a nested loop because it has to loop through all the items in ground. Okay, so if there's more than one line, so that's why I'm saying if you want to have a line at the top of the screen and a line at the bottom but they're not connected, then you would add a new line like this. Line, and then it's going to be an array of objects, the same as the above one. So that looks wrong. I forgot my bracket. That looks right. Yeah, so the outer loop is going to loop through, this is 1, this is 2. Then the inner loop loops through each item inside that. So this is 1 and this is 2. So this here will be 1, 1, and this here will be 1, 2. So let me just get rid of the second line. Actually, no, I'll keep it and I'll show it to you how it'll work. So bump, just pop that in there, and start at 0, but we're going to start this at 400. We're going to end it at 400. So now you should be able to see that second line on top of the first. Get rid of this point because that's 18,000 into the level. That's way too far. Okay, should be able to leave that comma in. Right. So then the inner loop displays the line first. It adds it into a line table. Actually, no, it's displaying a line and then it's displaying a new line separate from the first one, because I needed to use two lines, one that is the visible line and then one that contains the physical object that I attached to it. So instead of just boring you with all of this, all this is doing is it's displaying the two lines, the physical line and the visible line, both on top of each other. I had to do it that way. I couldn't just add a physics body to one line because excuse me, because when you rotate it, when you add a physics body to a line, it automatically adds with no rotation. It doesn't add itself to the same rotation that the line is at. So what I had to do is add physics body to one line and then rotate it to until the physics body was at the same rotation of the visible line. So then the visible aspect of the physical line was actually rotated off alignment, but then you just make it invisible and it works the exact same. So that's quite confusing. It took me a while to figure it out actually. So you name it, we set the height of the line, we get the line length, that's just Pythagoras. Then we define the shape of it using the length of the line and the hard-coded height of the line up here. Then we just add that shape onto the line. That's it. Here you can see then we have the rotation. So we rotate line table I, but line doesn't rotate. I've set its alpha to 0 there to make it invisible, so that has to stay that way. And yeah, that's how I've done the ground.